in them jeans, you eat your cornbread and greens. Dance or a doctor, red wine or vodka. Redesign your spot and redefine your mantra. Retwist your locks and realign your chakras. Doing your squats and getting closer to God, huh? Brunching with your squad or taking a girl's trip. Adjust your crown, you God's gift to the world, sis. Celestial body, drink your water. Meditate, sun-kissed goddess, heavenly order. Levitate, tribe of Ashanti. Black girl magic, melanin popping. Whether you ratchet or lavish, whether you bougie or savage, you a gift and a treasure. You got to love a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, dog.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back from last night. Was last night enjoyable or what? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. This is a podcast about mental health and wellness, as well as self-empowerment for Black women. Remember, I will help you chase the fire that you have from within. My name is Ursula. I'm your host each week, and I vow to deliver you relevant topics and resources that affect our community. So just remember, once we identify the issue, the problem is when we can begin to heal. So as I told everybody, last night was the opening of season 2. It was great. We had Sarah Komodo, and she visited us all the way from down under from Australia. And it was heavy, but it was a good topic. It was about narcissism. And she's going to revisit us again next week and the week after. But today I am going to concentrate on what we have going on. We have a beautiful guest. I'm going to bring her on in a minute. But if you hear my voice, let me know that you're here. Say hello to me. Or if you're catching this on the replay, I want you to type in replay. Let me know what you think. You can start a watch party. Definitely share, like, and please do it during the live. It would be great. I really appreciate all the accolades, and you all are giving me your thoughts and your input, but y'all are doing it after the fact. I need some engagement. So if you like me, if you love me, put something in the comments. I know you will. Now, I am going to bring on my beautiful special guest. You may know her. This is Cerita Ibrahim, and she is also known as the Whole Therapist. So I'm going to read a little bio about this sister. So Cerita, this sister is so smart. She has so many letters with her credentials. I love it. So instead of saying all of it, I'm just going to say Cerita Ibrahim, the therapist, with all the letters A through Z. She's a therapist, and she's also a trauma survivor, which turned into a guide. She helps Black women navigate the journey of healing their trauma by practicing self-therapy to increase integrity, self-love, and self-trust. Just know that healing is a spiritual process that doesn't have to be complicated. And she wants you to know yourself and know who you are, that whoever you are is not the foundation of all of your relationships, including the one that you have with God. She wants you to know that you really are the center of your universe and that you can rule with love. I'm going to bring this sister on right now. Cerita, people are coming in already, girl. Let me bring you on. Hi. Well, hello, sis.
Well, hello there again, beautiful.
That hair is fire, mama. Yes.
I love it. Thank you. I woke up like this, for real.
I know you did. I know you did. Girl, people are already flooding in. There's a bunch of hellos and hello, Jerry. Hello, beautiful Jerry. Hello, Krishan Clark. Hello, Rahima. Hello, Leslie. And hello, Rosetta. Hello, Angela. Hello, Francine. Girl, they're all coming in.
Hi, ladies. I recognize a few little names. I love you.
Sarita, did I forget anything else, hon? Give me
No.
some.
Mm-mm. Let's get to it, baby.
Let's get to it. Yes. So, and Rahima said, the whole therapist.
I love it. Thanks, Boo.
Look, you all, Sarita is a returning. She's family to the show right now. So I know you all are used to seeing her with her crochets. Put in the comments. Tell me what you all think about that banging ass throw that she has and delivered.
I love it. I love it.
Let me know.
She and I will receive all the love. Thank you.
You are, I love it. Okay, let's get right into it. So, as you know, and everyone else knows that my premise of the show is for Black women to have a better understanding on some of the characteristics we may have, some that we've picked up. Hi, Tiffany. Some that we inherited. So some of those things can be the caring person, the nurturing. There also could be a superwoman. Blink, 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 blink. Who does that sound like? First of all, Rahima says she loves your beautiful crown.
Thank you, Rahima. She, she's, my heart is big and full, but my ladies, my girls, always show up on the lives. I love you and I appreciate you.
Yes, 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 yes. I know you do. So let's get into it about the inherited Black women's, the superwoman complex, I should say. I've seen it a lot growing up. I see it now, but until I started doing my own self journey, and I never put a name to it, So I never thought I've been that person. We've talked enough. I want you to let me know. What do you think? But I have a couple of notes here I just wanted to bring up to you. When we talk about seeing other women in the family being a superwoman, and you had mentioned it being a cape inheritance. What does that mean?
That means that the idea of being a superwoman is not just a cultural expectation. I think it's a familial expectation. I think a lot of us have grown up not just seeing women play these roles where they are ultra strong and they take charge and they make it happen and they, make magic out of nothing. The expectation is that job, that cape is also yours to own. So if you are like, for me, I think I mentioned on one of our previous podcasts, I was very sensitive when I was younger. And my mom made it very clear that not only was it not an option, but there was no space or room for me to be emotional, because she explicitly told me the world will eat you alive if you wear your emotions on your sleeve. So the idea was that I had to conform to being that, to stepping into that superwoman role in order for me to survive.
How early do you think you had that?
I would say that my real understanding was probably about 9 or 10 years old. Yeah. I mean, because and my mom would tell me that you need to do as you're expected. And so there was an expectation of being very responsible at a young age. And, she would say that I shouldn't have to tell you to do these things, like whether it's clean your room or take care of this or do that. So I was very responsible and I had to begin to think like an adult. And I think for many young Black girls and Black women, the women in the tribe will tell you, put on his damn cape. We see it in the media. We see it in all our favorite shows. Empire, How to Get Away with Murder. Even
Olivia Pope.
Yes. All well dressed, put together, handling everybody, making shit happen, sacrificing what they really think and feel, and then, drinking wine late at night or, trying to cope into the silence and secrecy of their home. And people around them, if you're not on your game, they like, what's wrong with you? And don't let your mama come in because your mama gonna be like, get it together. And we saw that in How to Get Away with Murder. The particular episode when her mom came, when she couldn't get out of bed, mom was like, come on now. Like, we ain't got time for that. She like, I'm sad and depressed. My husband's dead. She's like, we ain't got time to be sad and depressed. You got shit to do.
Wait, how about this? And once you get your ass up, go wash those goddamn dishes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Hey, Calandra. Look, she's one of my old kickball teammates. Hey, Rogue.
Hi.
So Rosetta already came in and she said, it's like you really do not have a choice.
And I think that as children, I think a lot of us take that on. I think that it feels like we don't have a choice. And really, I think most of us, we're driven to live up to the expectations that are put upon us as children naturally. But as a Black woman, that's what I saw. I didn't see Black men playing this role of, ultra masculinity and protecting women. I didn't see that. But what I did see was women raising kids, handling business, paying bills, taking out the garbage, making shit happen. Even when they ain't have no money, somehow they got money and the bills got paid. Like most of the women, no matter how dysfunctional or how much trauma that they've been through that I saw, it was like they had no choice. It was like do or die. That was my perception throughout my childhood.
Speaking of childhood, now I'm thinking with my situation, I'm really going back now. My mom, my mind is blowing right now. My mom, it wasn't about get it together, but it was more of sweep it under the rug, put on your game face, and go out. So is that considered a Superwoman complex too? Because it made me hard.
You said it made you hard?
Well, I made myself hard with the emotional part, even though I'm soft. It's hell on the inside, but there was no room to be sensitive. No, sweep it under the rug, quick, and then go outside. I could be wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I'm smiling because I think your mom, let's be clear, the way we go about doing our Superwoman duties, it may not look the same for everybody, but the handling it all, the making it happen, the making it look pretty, the rebranding of bullshit, that's pretty much what we do. That's on our agenda. And researchers recognize with the Superwoman syndrome that there are 5 common themes or things that show up. And one is the obligation to manifest strength.
Can you explain that?
The obligation to manifest strength. So the obligation to look as if, to perform as if you're a pillar of strength. Like everyone sees me. Everyone must see me as someone who's very strong and who always keeps it together. Another one is obligation to suppress emotions. which is what you just talked about. So that the idea that we're not allowed to display the full spectrum of emotions. And I got something for you because I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. But also the resistance to being vulnerable and dependent. Come on now. Come
Girl,
on
get
now.
out my life.
Come on now. The determination to succeed despite limited means.
Explain.
Girl, you ain't got shit, but you going to make some shit happen. You don't know how, but you're going to make a way. You might not have everything you need, or you might not, but you're going to figure out God's going to provide. And and my door is always open to receive. We don't know how the bills might get paid next week, but you know what? They going to get paid. We don't come on now. And if you do let something stand in your way, your friends, your sister girls, your mama, somebody going to be like, what? You going to let that be a problem, girl?
You better suck that shit up and let's go.
You see what I'm saying? And the last but not least is the obligation to help others.
Blink, 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 blink.
That is the Superwoman syndrome, or it's also called the Superwoman complex. And there are some researchers that are really encouraging doctors to understand the impact of this, because what all this means is high stress. And this right here is the reason why many of us experience stress-related illnesses, which is why we have high incidence of hypertension and diabetes and, cancer. And we are less, in terms of breast cancer, we're less likely to get it, but more likely to die. So we have a higher mortality rate when it comes to most diseases compared to our white counterparts. And stress is one of the reasons. So this is why we say toxic relationships can kill you. And also another thing I want to throw in there is that researchers have also found that network stress is a contributing factor, meaning if your mama is stressed or hurt, then you stress. If your sister girls and your girlfriends are stressed, if your kids are stressed, then now you stress. So not only do we share in the obligation to give and to help others, but we actually are allowing it to really siphon our energy and impact our health because we are that invested.
My God.
And let me say, all of these qualities are not inherently negative in and of themselves, but it is the excessive nature to which these qualities really define a lot of who we are and what we want and how we interact with others.
I like to sprinkle a little anxiety in that. And that's the gift that keeps giving. When you said grandma, oh wait, what do Southerners say? What they call Madeir? Madeir's upset with her diabetic leg. Then you got mom.
You ain't lying.
Then mom is taking care of her, stressed out. And I'm stressed out. Then I'm beating my kids' ass. Cussing them out. Or probably doing nothing, none of the above, and just shutting down.
And most importantly, not caring for ourselves. So they talk about, we hear they, you know what I'm talking about, will say, Black women are obese, Black women in their weight, Black women in their attitudes. But what they're not talking about or acknowledging is Black women and their stress. They're not talking about the ways that Black women strive to do and be perfect and also caretake at the same time. And you only have so much energy to expel. And what ends up happening is that we sacrifice ourselves.
Exactly.
We might do some stress eating in the process.
Right. And that toxic D on top of that.
Blink,
blink, blink, blink, blink.
You be looking for some temporary self-medication, and it might be good because the toxic D usually come with a good stroke. But then it comes with a goddamn heart attack at the same time. Woo!
I'm about to pull this thing off my
give you a orgasm and a heart attack at the same time because he done got on your damn nerves to spend all your damn money. No. Not a good form of self-medication. At least sex can be a good therapy, but it needs to be with someone who's not just taking all the time, who can also, there could be a give and take and some balance.
Okay.
Nothing to say about that.
Let me read some of the comments, Mama. So wow, they're coming in. I don't know if you can see them. Let me scroll up.
Can't, unless because I can't see them.
Okay, well, no worries. I'm going to hand deliver it to you. So, that's her kickball name. Calandra, she said, I know her. She said that she just said those things about, I'm not sure what, Calandra, I apologize, I didn't scroll up soon enough, but she said those same things to her 15-year-old daughter. So, let me know what were you saying to her? And then Leslie, she said, ooh, the latchkey kid, clean the house, fix the food for the siblings, and all major responsibilities early in life.
I did all that. And then your mama would say, you better not lose my key. All that.
Well, you know what my parents did, my mom, she's like, you take this shoestring, you put it.
What would she say?
Get that shoestring, tie it around your neck. Don't let anyone in the house. And you better not turn your stove on.
Girl, listen here. When I was in middle school, of course, I had a key. I would pick my sister up from daycare. I would come home. When we got home, I made her something to eat, had her bathed and ready, and we was like chilling by the time Mama got home. Okay, dishes done, everything together. See? Because one thing I knew is I didn't want to hear her damn mouth. Right. But it sets you up to continue those roles inside your relationships. Mm-hmm. And that's how we end up being attracted to the toxic D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So I'm going to piggyback. Calandra, she just gave a little more clarity. And she said she told her daughter that they need to be able to hold their own because if I got COVID today, this shit would fall apart.
Yeah. And when she says she's talking to her about it, is it about, so I'm clear, is it about the level of responsibility or just about, this whole idea of identity and roles and who she's supposed to be?
So, Rogue, I hope you heard that. Come on.
I'm curious because, our teenagers are watching us.
Absolutely. They really are. Yeah. Rosetta said it's like living a double life. It's not like it is living a double life.
Well, yes, because you know why? This Superwoman syndrome can absolutely be a trauma response. And we know if that's the case, then what you are doing is putting on a mask. You're putting on armor, which is how we become inauthentic. Because if you're putting on the mask and you're putting on your armor and you can't really express how you feel, what you think, and what you want, you are performing. You are doing the tap dance and you in a show that's requiring you to play all the goddamn roles for everybody and nobody else has no responsibility. Like who's supposed to clean up the set? Who's supposed to be directing this episode? Because I'm supposed to be the writer, producer, the director, the clean up, the maintenance man, the cook around here, the caterer. Like, come on,
makeup artist.
You know what I'm saying? And I got to do this here too. What the hell?
And I gotta be a fluff girl. But like I said, Michelle Marshall said, I had to be the strong. I had to be the strong one. I'm the youngest, but I was the one fighting everybody from my older sisters. So I'm not allowed to fall apart. at 49 because everyone sees me as the strong one when I say I need help.
Oh, speaking of which, the which my program to learn self-love, you need to be in it, honey. Because
excuse me, Michelle, I put Cerita's link in the show topics like right now. So when we finish, or you can do it now, click on the link. It'll say Cerita Ibrahim. If you want the help that you just asked for, click on that link. Cerita's gonna explain the program.
yeah, I love it. Thank you. I just want to throw this in here real quick, and then we're going, finish talking about this Black Superwoman thing.
Yeah.
Is that what she just talked about is it becomes more than just the role. It becomes how you see yourself. And when that happens, you will now drive yourself to do all these things that everyone is expecting you to do. And when you don't, you feel guilty. It means that you don't know how to set boundaries. You're not clear where you begin and another person ends. And you've not been able to communicate that to those who are benefiting and siphoning your power. And these are the things that I teach in my program, You're the Cure, which will be changing soon to Love You. And right now I'm offering a 7-day free trial. I have dropped the price to make it accessible for women like you to get into this tribe and change everything about who you are, which really means becoming more of who you are. And I think a lot of us get caught up because we think that healing means becoming someone different. Healing is about undoing the thinking and the learning and your own toxic ways that have seeped in, that you've been inherited, that have been passed down from generation to generation. And really underneath all those masks and all those layers is the real you. Yeah. The you that is very clear about what you want, what you think, how you want to do it, how you want to show up, what's your purpose, what you like. Mm-hmm. The you that is absolutely divine. The you that naturally projects and accepts self-respect. And that self-respect will say, you people who used to rely on me, you are all children of God. Handle your shit. Mm-hmm. Because I have made this role of Superwoman my false idol, and I will no longer worship being a slave to everyone and everything who does not give to me. That's it. So you need to be joining her. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? At the end of this, so you all are going to have to wait to the end so that I can give you my experience of the class. But we're going to get back into this. So you don't have to wait to the end. But sis, they're just flooding in right now. Rahima says she's 46 years old and she's in the same boat. Nicole, she said that's a word. Leslie said that she's 49 and she's just learning what boundaries are. I get it. Me too. Like firm. I didn't have a problem saying no, but truly firm boundaries without feeling guilty about it and over explaining and going into detail. And I realize I still have that habit now because when you and I talk, and I catch myself, and then you'll even tell me, you don't have to, yes or no, it's okay. I get it. That's an old habit that I'm currently breaking. Yeah.
I think most of us, because I still do as well, and I will have to, the more we are on this journey, the self-correction process, because none of this is perfect, right? We're still human. But it's about the self-awareness and the self-editing and the self-correction that changes up your experience. Because naturally, when you are a superwoman, I think you are taught and you have fine-tuned your ability to interpret other people's needs, to sense other people's needs, to meet other people's needs before they can even ask you. You know what I'm saying? That's part of your superpower. And that's why people love us and hate us at the same time, because it also comes with you controlling, with you directing, And that people want what they want, but they also don't want what comes with it. Which means that at the end of the day, we can experience a lot of power struggles in being who we are when we're just helping. And so I think it's not uncommon that as we enter our 40s, and I know that now, that life begins to shift. And if most of your life has been focused on other people, which is exactly what we're talking about with the Superwoman syndrome, you know, as we start looking at like, oh, mortality like is a thing, like, oh, I'm not gonna live forever. That's real. Like, it really begins, I think we all begin to look within, and we all begin to look at our life and to question, what kind of life do I really want to lead? What kind of legacy do I want to lead? And who am I? Who will I be throughout this process? Because if the real you has been in hiding for 45, 46 years, she ready to come out, baby.
I know that's right.
She full grown. She knows she resilient. She's like, listen, I've been knocking at the door and you ain't been answering. So I'm about to kick this motherfucker down.
That's it. Kick it all the way down.
And we wonder why we start getting sick and things start happening, body starts breaking down, because your spirit ain't with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not going to scream and yell and fight you, but it's going to let you know that you are meant for so much more. And you are keeping others from stepping into their true purpose and their true identity, because you doing and managing. You playing God. That ain't your role.
I'm about to pull this scarf off my head right now.
I love you.
But the way these edges are set up.
Girl. I know. But see, you one of those who would choose healing over your head. So you know that's what
I'm about that too. Girl, you are blowing up this internet. Let me read. Oh my God, they're all coming in. You even got the brothers chiming in.
Hi, what they say?
Mark, I gotta look for it. And this brother, okay, see how I can have him on. He's smart. He's very insightful.
Mm-hmm.
He's very cerebral, I think he is. Oh, here it is. He says, I know a lot of superwomen or whatever. Not sure if they should be superwomen.
He said he's not sure if they should be.
Yeah. The way I'm thinking, you're broken. I can't speak for him. I don't know. But you're broken, but you're trying to be superwoman and cleaning up everybody else's stuff. Clean your own shit up.
Well, you know what? I would like for him to give us a little more info on that, because I think you are right in terms of whether that's what he meant or not, that most of us, we do focus externally because we don't want to, or we're not taught how to focus within. So we will clean up other people's stuff in the process of running from ourselves and running from our truth. That is only going to lead to more toxins. It's only going to lead to more. It don't work. I know. I done tried. It don't work. Come on and enjoy my class, honey.
So, can you explain what emotionally stunted is? What does that mean, and what does it look like?
Emotionally stunted, girl. So I got me a resource here, because I don't play. But emotional suppression, or the suppression of one's emotions, is an aspect of the Superwoman syndrome. So it means that, and most of us learn it very young. You learn that your feelings are not valid. There's no room for you to be like emotional, or your opinions, like, they really don't matter, because you got to watch your brothers and sisters, because I told you what to do, because I pay these bills. So what happens is, in order for us to survive, we shut down emotionally. Yeah. And so let me give you an example. Oh, here is a great book, The Black Women's Mental Health, Balancing Strength and Vulnerability. And I just wanted to share with you this one little excerpt on emotional strength and regulation. Emotional strength and regulation is the central defining characteristic of the strong Black woman. Strength is linked to the capacity to withstand suffering and complaint. Did you hear me? To withstand suffering and complaint. The strong Black woman is supposed to be capable of enduring life struggles without any sign that she is under duress. She is expected to engage in constant impression management. Okay. Like the professional image consultant. Okay. Maintaining cover over her emotions at all times, especially those that indicate vulnerability.
Wow.
Such as sadness, grief, helplessness, hurt, embarrassment, anxiety, or fear. Crying, especially in the sight of others, is deemed particularly unacceptable and is understood as a display of weakness rather than a normal emotional experience. She relies upon the defense mechanisms of denial, repression, and suppression to maintain negative affect. Okay, so like the armor. Creating a mental and emotional dam behind which she blocks all negative affect. Because any breaks in the dam might unleash the flood of emotionality behind it. She has to be very careful against her emotional displays, carefully restraining and controlling all emotions, positive and negative. I think that explains it. Okay.
Well, I guess we're done. God damn. Let me tell you I'm having a lot of revelations right now. So I'm going to tell you what one incident of my superwoman, my power, which wasn't. So, my father's a narcissist and grew up as a victim of narcissistic abuse. Oh, Mildred said, boom. I know, Mildred. I know, girl. It's like that. So I'm from up north, and my parents drove me down south to college. So my father had one of his narcissistic rages as we approached Birmingham city limits, and they dropped me off. I don't even know if I think I may have. They dropped me off at the dorm. My father's raging, cussing my mom and I out, everything. And then he's like, come on, let's go. And they left the dorm room and left. And left. And left. I'm their only child. They dropped me off in Alabama, and I remember watching them through the bay window. And I'm like, God, this is the last time I'm gonna see my parents. I now live 20 hours away. And I remember that commercial with the little Indian with the teardrop. And I remember it started coming. Real talk. I didn't let that tear. It got right about there. And I was like, I sucked it up. But you know what? In retrospect, like right now, I'm thinking that wasn't good because I sucked it up for 20 years straight.
I think most of us can understand. We can honor your experience. And it's okay, you're allowed, because that's how we suppress our emotions. We suck it up. I remember when I decided I was not going to let my mom see me cry. It's funny now because it's like, what the fuck? And I would not cry in her presence. And I remember the last time she beat me, I sat there and I looked at her in the face throughout the whole thing. When she left the room, of course I kind of fell apart, but I was like, I'm not going to let her see me cry. Like, I will not let her. And that is how, once I took that on, I felt like I was acting like her. I'm being like you. I'm letting you know that I'm you. You know what I'm saying? And so the idea that we suck it up, that is what we do. And that's why our health is failing.
Yeah.
And thank God that you had the consciousness to begin to take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, physically,
Yeah.
because it was weighing on you. And that's why some of us, all of my friends are superwomen. They're strong as hell, but they secret sensitive. I'm like, y'all are the meanest, most sensitive bitches ever. We'll have that strength, and then you say it the wrong way, and they're like, you hurt my feelings. I'm like, what? And I'm guilty too. I'm guilty too. And then we'll have a tear.
Right.
So yes, you
Don't
are
let it
not
go past
alone.
here, because no.
You are not alone. And even in you remembering that is so significant, because that's an indicator that's letting you know that as we peel back the layers, we begin to see clearly how we've done certain things, how we've coped and survived, how we got to be dysfunctional because of the things that we've gone through. And then we can know consciously, I can change, I can do it differently because I understand me now. I understand why this happened.
If any of the listeners, if you are sensitive, secret sensitive, put it in the comments.
Oh, y'all, go ahead and raise your damn hand. Don't even try it.
Let me put my comment in here. Me.
Because that's what I call them all, secret sensitives. I'm like, I know you secret sensitive. You know I love you. Because I am too. I am too.
May I borrow that? Secret
Yes.
sensitive.
Yes, you can.
May I read some of these comments that are just flooding in? So Tasha says she's overly sensitive to, let's see. Wow, I mean, there's so many. Leslie, she said, yep, here I am.
I already know. Hey, Les. Hey, sis.
Rahima, she said, seeing that in my daughters and you think that they are undermining your authority. Ooh.
Tell me more. Because I'm wondering, is that coming from Black Mama? Or is that coming from Rahima saying that? You know what I'm saying? Is that Black Mama Superwoman saying they're undermining your authority? Because let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Hold on. Let's take the eyelashes off and let's get real with it. Yeah, let's explore that. Rahima, come up in this circle, sis.
Oh, you're gonna call her out? Oh,
she said it. I mean, I want some clarity as well, because this is a learning experience for me as well, for real. But what do you think she meant with that, as far as, like, is it the Black mom or that Superwoman talking? What?
And that's why I asked, because one thing I know, and you know, I talked about this in class, is that we will project onto our children the things that we didn't get as childhood, in our childhood. So, for example, with the Superwoman, you didn't get respect. You had to do as you were told. No one was listening to how you felt and trying to be understanding about what you needed, because it was about what the tribe needed, what the family needed, what was expected of you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that means, and my mom used to say it to me, is that you must be compliant. So being compliant is different than being human. So if a Superwoman has children, she may demand respect. But really, we have to be clear about, what does that respect mean? Does that mean you do as I say do? Does that mean you have no opinion? Does that mean that you really don't have a voice and I'm not listening to what you said because you do as I say? Does that mean they have their humanity is not respected? They're not allowed the space to test boundaries as a child does.
Because children naturally are testing boundaries.
Hell yes. But we can view that as disrespectful.
That's all.
No, as parents, especially, listen, you say that's so what? Because for
I
many of
think
us,
it's horrible. I
but
think it's horrible.
that's what many of us were taught.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that my whole point in bringing this up is about self-awareness. And that if we are aware of how we're communicating to our children or not, if we're not aware of how we are putting on the same, we up here talking about the Superwoman syndrome, but if we're not aware, we are going to be putting the same things on our kids and saying, well, you're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to have this ultra responsibility. I expect you to live in a box. Because we live in a culture that does not respect the humanity of children, meaning that children's voice matters, that their thoughts matter. And if a parent is consistently invalidating their thoughts, then you emotionally shut down and do all the things that I just talked about.
That's where the stunting is. I just got it. And it will silence a child.
That's otherwise they wouldn't adapt. They are adapting to their environment. You adapted to your environment. I adapted to mine. That's why we're still alive. Our parents.
Oh my God, you're right.
So
that's great, Leslie. I'm sorry, babe. Go ahead.
I was just going to say they will abandon themselves. That's where the self-abandonment comes in. That's how we all become inauthentic. Because we are conforming to the expectations of our parents. This is what I taught last week.
Yeah. Ooh. So Leslie says, and I agree with Leslie, seen but not heard. Tasha says, true. Oh, Tasha, I feel you on this one. No one cared nor asked how I felt. Kara, hi, Kara. Look, we have a listener from Massachusetts.
Hi.
She feels challenged in the area of sensitivity, but maybe it's secret sensitivity. Same thing with Tracy. She's saying, hey, Tracy, yes, I am secretly sensitive. Oh, God, more. She was taught to be the strong one. And I'm going to read one more. Rahima put she said, I am the mom who experienced everything, and I became a superwoman now with my kids trying to do it differently, but it's extremely hard being in diaspora slash a migrant and a single parent.
Oh, got
Let me
it.
stop playing. Hold on. Struggle bus while continuing to be what your family back home still expected everything from you financially and respect.
That, Rahima, I give you so much love because that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, especially the cultural expectations are heavy. They are bred in you. And that idea of you're supposed to care, like being a caretaker, that's your duty, not your choice. It's your duty.
Your bag.
So having to deal with that and navigate this culture and navigate children, it's challenging, which is why you definitely need to be in my class. But also, more importantly, is first you have to be able to give yourself some grace and to be able to understand, like, you might really have to write some stuff down, because to get clear about what are your role expectations with your family and what are your expectations with your children, because they could be very different. You may be trying to raise your children differently, but some of that old stuff that you experience, I promise you, is seeping through. It's like a virus. And if you are still struggling with, and I know it's difficult because we talk about boundaries, we talk about saying no, but for you, it may be really difficult because that culture is pulling at you and tugging at you. But there will come a time when you will have to decide what's more important. Is it your mental health? Is it your sanity? or is it your allegiance to the cultural expectations?
So what I'm hearing you say about Rahima is that she should have firmer boundaries with herself.
It wouldn't be with herself. It would be with, and I'm not saying she should do anything because I don't know the whole entire situation,
True.
but just from that little, excerpt is that she has to consider what she's willing, or I won't say has to, I'm gonna say she can consider what she's willing to participate in and to acknowledge the ways that she has chosen to participate in some of these role expectations. Because we can participate and then have a whole bunch of emotions around it and stress around it and anxiety around it, which is only impacting our health, which is only impacting our sanity. So it really is about, I think there's an opportunity to become clear in what she is willingly and willfully participating in, how she wants to continue to have relationships with them, and if there are some ways where maybe she can create boundaries while still respecting, her attachment to the culture. Does that make sense?
It does. Rahima, let us know what you think. Comment. Let us know what you think. Let's see. Nicole says she needs the group info. Nicole, we're going to talk about that at the end of this live for sure. And Tasha said, everyone depends on me, but who can I depend on?
Well, that is the Superwoman's biggest challenge. And, part of what gets many of us through is we create a support system or support network of other Superwomen, of other women who, you can kind of lean on and rely on. And if you don't have that, if you don't take care of you, it could very well be that no one else will, which is why it is imperative that you begin to make yourself a priority.
Mm-hmm. That goes back to self-validation.
Yes, it does.
And what else? You were about to say something?
I think it goes back to self-validation, but it also, I think it's a commitment, and it is boundaries. Because the role of basically being a caretaker at all cost, when we do that, we're all fully engaged in giving and doing and performing. And so it requires us to really switch off how we see ourselves and redefine it.
And how we really see ourselves. I always love that analogy of the onion, not the shiny purple part. Like peel those layers back and get down. Like who are you? Your authentic self, as you say, right, Cerita?
Yeah. And that,
this was eye-opening for me because I will admit, until we started talking, I never thought I know I didn't have a Superwoman complex, but apparently I did. But that goes back to once you identify the issue, the problem, then you can start to heal.
Which, if you can name it, you can tame it.
Absolutely. And apparently I didn't put this name to it. I was in therapy, but
yeah,
that was apparently part of it too. I didn't know it.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of us really know it because we just live it, We might talk about it to one another, but I didn't know either for a long time. And one other thing I want to mention before we end this live is that, we talk, I talk a lot about trauma. We talk about trauma, and trauma can occur, of course, with the toxic family and dysfunctional rules and a lot of shame, but it can also occur in the womb. It can also occur pre-verbally. And I think
Can you explain that?
You can be wounded in the womb. If the mother is, full of stress and stress hormones, real, she going through some things, she's emotionally unstable, that can be wounding to the fetus. And so I bring this up because, for some of us, we experienced separation from our parents, and we grew up around the patriarchy that was like, leave them alone, let them cry it out. And those things can be experienced as abandonment. So some of us have been abandoned emotionally by our parents and caregivers. Why is this significant? This is significant because if you internally or fundamentally feel that you are not wanted, as a survival mechanism, you will make yourself needed.
Wow.
And so for some of us who, when we get to the core and we peel back the layers, as you just talked about, there may be some unworthiness. There may be feelings of abandonment, of rejection, of not mattering. And a lot of times that stems from childhood. And so we grow up with this drive to do and to pursue and to take care of others, because if you're needed, then someone will always want you. So
that goes back to when you and I had talked before, how it's bigger than just our generation and the one before and the one before. But in the slave days, slavery, remember we were talking about how you have the woman in the slave in the house. She's cleaning for master. She's breastfeeding their kids. She has to fuck him later on. Then she has to take care of the dishes, the house. Then she has to go home and do the whole thing all over again with her own husband and family. She has a baby. Put the baby down. The baby will be all right. The sis is tired. And I agree. Like, you never hear that in any other cultures, but the Black culture, at least from what my experience, put that baby down. They'll be okay.
I do think in our culture, I think, especially in previous generations, we were raised in a lot of ways to abandon ourselves, to suppress our emotions, to, put on armor because the world required it of you. Like, literally to be, independent and vocal and loud and seen and demanding your rights could have literally gotten you killed. And so that is one of I think the biggest travesties and pain that not just generational trauma, but our legacy of slavery has been passed down to us. And we know that now through trauma research, but I don't know of a whole lot of research that has been done specifically on us. But we know that, and I can't watch a damn movie without, any movie. And I recently watched Lovecraft Country. I'm very late. But in that time period and the things that they had to deal with, I'm like, that is so fucking stressful. That is so stressful. Every day of your life. And we know that racism and discrimination can create complex PTSD, complex trauma, because there was no protection for you. And in some cases, we're still experiencing that now.
We are.
We still arguing. People are still debating whether or not racism is a thing now. Like, we're still having these conversations about Black men being shot in the streets. And women. So it's like, that is very stressful, which is actually, this whole experience of oppression is how this whole Black Superwoman syndrome was born. That was to protect us. And now it's becoming poisonous.
It's deadly.
It is. It can be, for sure.
It can be. Yeah, it can be deadly. As you were talking, it you made me think of something. I remember about a month ago, I was talking to one of my friends. We were becoming friends. And I was telling her something that traumatic had happened with my family with the narcissistic abuse. Wow, here comes more comments. We're gonna get to those in a minute. And as I'm talking to her, I started crying. Because the shit hurt. And she didn't mean any harm by it. But she said, Uncle, don't cry. No, don't cry. And then for a hot second, I swallowed it. And I'm like, no, I've been to therapy. I know it is okay to cry because I'm still a strong Black woman. I have some feelings. Shit, I'm secret sensitive. And I'm driving. But you know what? I felt good after.
I'm glad you did, because I think we do have to start giving one another permission to cry. Like, because we're secret sensitive. You know why? Because we're real human. So it's like the whole secret sensitive comes about because the world has told you it's not safe and it's not okay. But it doesn't stop our bodies from reacting. It doesn't stop us from processing our emotions. We just either stuff it down or we become unconscious of it.
Yeah.
It's still happening.
And we're going to start wrapping it up because, we could talk for 18 hours straight. But I want to read one comment. But before that, what you just said about holding it in, that book that The Body Keeps the Score, it is so real because I didn't know this until I went to therapy, that I held my trauma in my stomach as a child. And then it worked its way up. So as an adult, I held it right here. So when I was finally able to use my tools and release that trauma, it physically, not in my mind, I physically felt the trauma come out and release from my body. And I feel like I can feel it now. I feel like I've eaten a loaf of bread, a full loaf of bread with no water, and trying to swallow it down. And when I released it, like it literally it came out of my body, and my fingertips felt like lightning rods and bolts coming out of my tips of my fingers and my toes. I cried as like I had an out-of-body experience. I literally came 20 minutes holding all that trauma in for 48 plus years. Not anymore.
I know that's right. Black girl got her shift together.
I got my shit all the way together. And now I'm really seeing my authentic, true self.
Yes.
I put that armor, I threw it away, and it's still chipping off the pieces. But see, now I know what to do. I have my circle, including yourself, who allows me to be me. And more importantly, I allow myself to be myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's okay to cry.
Yes, because the body does keep the score. The body remembers. The body holds the trauma. It's within you. And that's why we can no longer support or tolerate ourselves and our sisters swallowing it, stuffing it down, pretending, denying, because that is the thing that is, I won't say it's killing us. It is killing us, but it's also stealing our life. It's stealing your vibrancy, your playfulness, your clarity, your authenticity, your ability to connect.
Your creativity.
Creativity is a big one. Your curiosity about life, just enjoying, because we talk about, we're big things, but enjoying, being gratitude, being in real gratitude. Those things trauma can rob you of because you are stuck in protection mode and self-protection.
Stuck in that and, really just trying to survive it all.
Yep. Instead of thriving. And that's why We're doing the work.
Right. I'm going to read a few comments, and then I'd love to end this live by talking about my experience with your program. So Leslie, she said, wow. Okay, Tracy said we are trained to work twice as hard, and does not realize when it has become dysfunctional. It's toxic. Yes. Tasha said true. Leslie said, this is my first time viewing this live. In this short time, I've learned so much. She even had an emotional release. Yep, I cried. Thank you.
I love you. And I see the little girl in you. I see you. That's amazing.
Leslie, doesn't it feel good? I'm telling you, that trauma relief is something else. Let me not take it too far. It's almost as good as an orgasm. However,
it's a different kind.
Yeah, it's a different kind. And Alicia said, I need to get my link together. Alicia, yes, stop talking about it. Just do it. Sis, pull the trigger. What's it gonna? You're not gonna die. Literally, you're not.
What you're gonna do is live. Okay?
Like really live, not just bumbling around in life and like, well, let's see what life happens. No, set that intention and make that shift.
Exactly.
Leslie said, yes. And Tracy said, and you never learn to trust.
That's it. How can you trust if no one in your experience allowed you to be who you are? If no one in your experience respected your humanity, how could you learn how to really trust? That's part of our challenge.
It is. Alicia, stop playing, sis. You better get on with this.
I need to see y'all in class on Tuesday because it's going down, honey.
So Michelle, I'm not going to scroll up, but Michelle did say that she was on your live on Tuesday. So we're going to end by this. I'm going to let everybody know that, there's feedback, that Cerita has this program. I'm going to let Cerita explain her program, but I'm going to give you my experience of it first. And Alicia said her shit runs deep. So, Alicia, what you going to do about it then? You going to keep letting it run deeper? Or what you going to do, sis?
Hello.
Shift. Or get off the couch.
Tell them, girl.
No pressure. I'm just stating the facts. Like, we're going to go another 20 years or not, I'm in a place now where it's either you choose to heal or you choose to stay where you are. That's with me too. I'm not saying just the lead. I'm talking about myself and anybody. Sometimes it's comfortable, but it's okay to grow.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, my experience with your program is that it was very eye-opening. I learned so much. Tasha says she chooses to heal. Yes, sis. I know that's right, Tasha. Now make an active plan.
I love that.
I need to lose 150 pounds. But what are we going to do? And so I do realize that my emotional intelligence from therapy and my inner work has made me advance in my thinking. But even though I'm starting to program myself, I realize you can't don't let your ego get in the way because the healing never stops. So let everybody know I signed up for Cerita's program about self-help, self-love. I've had a few light bulb moments and it was amazing. And then you see women and it's a safe space, and these women, including myself, are releasing the trauma and having breakthroughs and light bulb moments and aha moments and mind blown. It was amazing. And I finished with you. I was tired because I was emotionally drained in a good way, but that was more of the layers of the onion of myself, that getting to know my authentic self, and it aided in my healing because I realized some things about my mother and father and how I grew up in my abusive household that I'm still hurt from it, but at least I can give myself as well as them grace. Still mad, not mad, but hurt, really hurt. It was just an amazing experience, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So, to afford it, I decided to not get my hair done, and that's why my hair is soaking wet right now, everyone, because I washed my hair myself, and I used that money and all of this to pay for my program with, and
That's
it was
what I'm talking about. I love it, and I'm grateful for you too.
So can you explain to everybody before we go what your program entails?
Yes. So I have a program named You're the Cure. The name will be changing soon to Love University or Love You. And the idea is really to teach superwomen how to heal self-sacrifice through self-love. And we are really healing trauma by starting from the beginning, to understanding, how did I abandon myself? How did I get here? And undoing all those layers so that you can get to the point. And what we are working towards is, I am teaching you the therapy, not just understanding the trauma and learning about trauma, which is so very important, because as you learn this stuff, this material, this knowledge, really, you begin to unravel yourself naturally, because your mind, your body, it knows how to heal. We interfere with the process. We make it difficult. We stay stuck in fear. We stay focused on the past. And when you get out of your own way, the God in you knows what to do. I promise you. That's what the authenticity in you is. But what happens is, most of us, we walk around in our egos, which is the part of us that is managing our lives, that is trying to fix and control everything and trying to control everybody else. And underneath that is the wounds, the pain. But with learning the tools and the therapy that I will teach you, you will understand the ways that you protect yourself. The self-protection is all the dysfunctional behaviors that we have, which the Superwoman syndrome is one of them. So self-sabotage is another one. Perfectionism, feeling like a failure. These are all ways that we protect ourselves from being seen and being hurt. That's based on the past. And so my goal, my work, is to create a tribe, a safe space specifically for Black women, for us to do the work, for us to have honest conversations, to be authentic, to take off the mask, the lace fronts, the eyelashes, and be exactly who we are. And thank you, Urs, because she came up with that. She's like, we taking it all off, and that's what it's about. Because listen, it's all right to be cute, but sometimes that should get annoying when it interferes with your divinity, it interferes with your connection, it interferes with your ability to have a healthy relationship with someone that gives to you what you give. So that is what we do. And I'm teaching a therapy to learn all your parts, to begin to love yourself and the little girl within you, to witness yourself so that you can be seen in all your glory and everything. So that should be just that's just what we do. I hope that is a good explanation, because it's real.
It's all the way real. It's all the way real. So your mic or something is going down. So
can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds very far away, but no worries. So while we do that, I am going to encourage everyone to take a look at the show note. This is going to turn into a podcast as well. And you're getting, oh my God, a lot of people. I'm going to read some of the comments while you get it together. Tasha says she chooses to heal. Let's see. Tasha and Leslie are just blowing it up. Like, yes.
I need you to join. Don't say yes. Join, because right now it's $80. It's $79 a month. I'm about to say 80, but it's $79 a month. You get a free trial. You can come to class, get all this love, because I know you're gonna want it, because the price is going up. So you can yes me, because I hear it all the time. I need help. But then they keep doing the same shit they've been doing. I'm just gonna be real, because I've been hearing it for quite some time now. So it's 2021, okay? And we need to switch all this up and break these cycles. But yeah, give me some yeses. And sign up. I love y'all. Stop playing.
But it's just like going to church. You know, you go to church on Sundays, you get filled by the word, pastor, music's feeling good, and you feeling good. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday through Saturday, you cussing everyone out. Come on.
Stop playing. You cussing everybody out by Monday night.
Facts. But it's like, what are you listening to? You listen to your preacher, but you have to do the work and carry it on.
I mean, for real. I think some people use that as a cover, like I'm doing something. And I'm not saying you're not doing nothing, but the reality is that we also have to be willing to look within. We could go to church and hear about how someone else was able to connect to God and receive the word and recognize their own wisdom. When you going to listen to your own wisdom? That's all I'm saying. When you going to connect and fall in love with the God in you?
Let's keep it real. Really listen to yourself, not that part that we cover up with a bunch of coping mechanisms. That's what we're trying to find.
Protection. The real you, the real dreams, the real love, the real ways you want to be seen, the real ways that you want to be loved by you, the real ways you want to be witnessed by you, the real self-respect that you crave from you. That's the work we're doing.
I love you.
And I love you.
I love you more. Everyone, I love the enthusiasm. All the information you're asking for. Click on the link. Unless I didn't put it in, but I know I did. Click the link. I put the link for both of us in the show notes.
I think what's happening is some people are on my page and they maybe can't see it. I just realized that because you're streaming it on my page too. So can you type it in the chat? You can just put the I Want Audacity link in the chat.
I sure will.
So sorry, everyone, but you know the link is all over my page as well. But yes, and you can go to my website and access it from there too. And if you got any questions, you can always reach out, send me a DM, send me a message, whatever you need to do. I'm here because I'm about this love life.
Well, let me end the, are you open to a Q&A for about 10, 15 minutes?
We can do it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, everyone, because I am recording for this podcast, we're going to end it soon, and then we'll have a Q&A for about 10, 15 minutes after. And we can hold 1 minute, please.
You're ending the broadcast because I got to go to the bathroom.
No, don't say that yet. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us this week on Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. Make sure to visit my podcast, Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. It's on all podcast platforms and social media and YouTube channel. And I'm also going to have my website coming out with my pilot program, but that's not going to be explained today, not yet. Just put a little pin in it. But make sure you log on to Cerita's as well, and make sure and get updates. Sign up for email so that you never miss a show. And if anything made you so will vibrate today. I want you to share this information. I want you to tell 2 friends about the show. And remember, once we can identify the problem, the issue, is when we can start to heal and chase the fire from within. On that note, you want to go and do our Q&A right now? I'm scared to press any button. So, anyone, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat right now. Yes, sis?
I just wanted to confirm if you were going to end this live.
No. Yes. How about you do what you gotta do?
Oh, you know what? How about if you don't want to end the live, can we just take a 2-minute break?
We sure can. Only reason I didn't want to end it because I may lose you. I don't know what's going to happen.
No, I just wanted to check in. So if we can just take give me a minute.
Go ahead. I got it, boo boo. I got you. I got you. Go ahead.
Mwah. Oh, are you gonna
just leave it on?
Okay.
I'll do this. Okay. So we're still live. The podcast has ended. But you all let me know your thoughts until Cerita comes back on what's one thing that resonated in your soul and made your soul vibrate. Right. Okay. So Mo, the program, you'll have to go on her website as well. Speaking of programs, I also have a program coming out, and it's going to be launched in about a week. But, just because I'm launching a program, and I'll give more details next week, I did not let my ego get in the way of signing up for someone else's program, because like I said, the healing never stops whatsoever. You always want to develop yourself, and even when you get to that you achieve what you're looking for, you still need maintenance, if that makes any sense. And it's very important to let the ego down if you want to heal and do better in life. That's just my 2 cents. And having ego truly can stunt growth. It can stunt development, your interpersonal work. So, Leslie, the name of my Facebook is Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. And I'm going to put it in the notes right now. Rosetta, yes, it does make perfect sense. And I'm going to put my info in now. So, Cerita, I was telling our beautiful ladies that I have also started a program, but I'm going to launch it next week. But I was explaining to everybody that even though I'm starting my program as well, that I didn't let my ego get in the way of continuing my self-development. Because even though I've gone to therapy, I've finished my program, and I'm still working on myself, it doesn't mean, okay, well, I'm good. Yeah, I am good. But why not be great? Why not be better? Why not be exceptional? You get help from where you can get it, so.
I mean, for me, learning is a lifelong, like I will never stop learning. I will always be in somebody's class, somebody's book. That helps to give us life. It helps us to grow, because if you're not growing, you're stagnant.
Yeah.
I think that's how we become better, how we learn more about the world, learn about ourselves. It's necessary.
Exactly. So Tracy made a comment, and she said that it can create poor leadership with some of our beautiful Black women.
It can create poor leadership?
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about? The Black Superwoman?
Yeah, Tracy, if you don't mind, if you can explain a little more detail. So while we wait on Tracy for that, Leslie, she just said she started therapy. Awesome. Oh,
Congratulations.
but the therapist is white.
Okay.
And she's good at dealing with trauma, but not life experiences in our culture. Okay, before you say something, can I get into this? Let me put this over here. Hold on. Okay, now, Leslie, I'm not telling you what to do, sis. Blink, blink, blink. However, I will say I agree with everything you're saying. I've had both. She said, Lord, I already know. You know, that's right. She's laughing. I agree with you. I've had both, but there's something about having a Black therapist that I didn't have to explain cultural differences. I didn't have to explain why my may have locks today and wearing an afro tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch my goddamn hair. No, you cannot. I don't want to explain what the D means and toxic D. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, even. I don't want to go to therapy to explain what's going on right here and then still explain what's going on here. So I'm not telling you what to do, but you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what to do. You need to join my program because listen here, half the women in the program are in therapy. They're still in therapy, but almost everyone. Okay, I'm lying. All of them have said to me that they never heard the things that I explain in the way that I explain it. And I know that is because I have lived their experience. And part of my purpose and my talent is learning and studying trauma, which is why I can talk about it the way that I do. And I think that it doesn't mean you got to break up with him. You can still keep him, but you know, he can be your side, your side.
Let's keep it real. Let me just do this. Leslie said, yes, it's true. Leslie.
Holla.
When you go to a therapist that looks like Cerita, a brown, a melanated queen, you're going to get the cornbread and the collard greens, and you're going to get the fried chicken, you're going to get the smothered steak. And then when you go to Karen and them, you have food. You're just going to have potato salad with raisins in it.
See, I didn't say that. I did not say that. Oh, that's hilarious. But you know, this is the deal. Just come to one class, check it out, see for yourself, because my goal is not to tell you not to go to therapy, because you can absolutely get some benefit from it. I think you can also, it'll benefit not just you, but your spirit, your psyche, to begin to undo and to become an expert in your own trauma, your own soul. And that's what I'm about. So just to give it a shot. That's all I'm saying.
So Tracy chimed in. She's giving you some more clarity, Cerita. She said, I've always wondered why our beautiful Black women who are in leadership roles are angry and refuses to help empower their employees. They are insecure and do not trust in their staff. They are especially hard Black employees.
So let me read something I didn't get to talk about on, I made a note of this on the show.
Let's hear it.
The Superwoman syndrome and patriarchy, and the ways in which the core ideas that are considered to be good and desirable in the patriarchal culture are associated with masculinist values of control. strength, competitiveness, toughness, logic, forcefulness, and self-sufficiency. This is from Johnson, 2005. In contrast, qualities such as cooperation, mutuality, equality, sharing, compassion, caring, emotional expressiveness, and intuitive and nonlinear ways of thinking are all devalued and culturally devalued. I don't want to skip past that. Those things in this culture, those behaviors, those ways of being are devalued. Now, white women can express that all day long. It's okay. They can be, all of these things and feminine. And it's not that we can't be, but it's that for all the reasons we explained earlier, we are not trained, we're not encultured, we are not brought up to be these things. We're not brought up for many of us to be like all compassionate, because who was compassionate to what you needed? Like that goes back to that. And within the patriarchy, men's ways of being are much more highly valued than women's. So I think that the women, the Black women or the sisters, and I can't speak for all of them, but I'm generally speaking, that they were able to climb the corporate ladder and to acquire those positions because they mirrored the expectations of the culture.
Ooh.
The corporate culture don't give a damn about your soul. They don't care. I mean, let's just keep it real, because that's not what it exists to do. It exists to make money. Mm-hmm. That's it. So that is the purpose. And so those who will succeed in that environment will have to conform to what the environment requires. But it also means that I have to sacrifice my humanity. And that will make any motherfucker angry. You hear me?
Exactly. And Tracy said, wow.
Yeah. And thank you for asking that question, because this is not about judgment. This is not about putting anyone down. This is about understanding ourselves, understanding the culture, and understanding the roles that we are playing. Because I guarantee you are writing the roles of someone else's script until you take control, until you become, sorry, my ear was hurting. I tried to switch it out. Until you become the author. Mm-hmm. And that's what healing is. And so it's something that we are all dealing with, because we're taught to strive. That's what the Superwoman does.
Yeah.
And the higher that she gets, it's very likely that she has to sacrifice more and more of herself.
Ooh. Almost stripped down to nothing. You're just a shell.
Stripped of all of the things. Okay. You know what you stripped of? Cooperation, mutuality, femininity, sharing, compassion, caring, emotional expressiveness. Need I say more?
Wow. Girl, it's real. It's real.
It's real. This is why, I think it's important for us to have these conversations and this dialogue, because a lot of us look at success in terms of striving. I know I did. Yeah. In terms of acquiring, leadership in a culture that tells you can't be both successful and human. We need to change that.
We really do. One more thing, everyone, if you want this beautiful sister to come back, I want you to put some hearts in the comments and let me know. If I got to see at least one. If I see at least one, that means I'm going to invite her back, because she's a gem to our community. So let me see something. And
y'all need to stop playing and put them damn hearts in, because she's going to invite me back anyway. And you want to see this face and this hair, even though I can't guarantee that this hair going to look like this. But I'm just saying, y'all need to quit playing and give her some love, give her some engagement, and we'll prepare for the next show.
And there goes all the hearts popping off right now. So, more okay. Asking you shall receive. So here we go. Oh, there's a lot of hearts. Thank you, ladies.
I love you. I love you
Yeah.
so much.
Look at all this black female love. Rahima, thank you. Brenda, thank you. Rosetta, Mo. I love Mo.
Love you, Mo. I love you all. Thank you, Rahima. Thank you. Some of y'all be my ride or dies when I go live. So I love you so much.
That says a lot about you, sis. A lot. So obviously everyone wants you to come back. So I always enjoy when you come on, and we already gonna have a topic set up. Tasha said, give me some books to look for. Tasha, sign up for that class, girl.
Tasha, listen, because you ain't gonna read the damn book. Let's just keep it real. You let me read the books and I'll interpret it for you, because you know damn well you ain't gonna read it, and if you do, you ain't gonna know how to apply the way we really could do it together. And I'm just saying it's all love, because I know I done been there. So you need to sign up for my class, okay? That's basically what she's telling you, because girl, we a family and we doing this together. So it's all love.
This is what happens when you come to a Black podcast.
Girl, that's like me telling my trainer, I'm gonna just work out by myself at home. And he know I'm lying if I say that, because I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, and then it's gonna be bedtime, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I didn't work out today. I'm gonna work out tomorrow. That's why.
Meanwhile, y'all here sober drinking some rum light.
Girl, be eating the mini cupcake. I lied to myself. I'm eating the mini cupcake. He called me like, you work out. I'll be like, huh? I'm just keeping it real. We all have our things. You know what I'm saying?
Tasha said, I love it. Yeah, stop playing, girl. Stop playing, Tasha. Look, I'll be there Tuesday. I need to see somebody up.
Tell them I love the way you representing me. I appreciate it. And for all my ladies, all my regular listeners, y'all know y'all better go subscribe to this podcast so y'all can get all this love and all this info. You know what I'm saying? All this knowledge.
Got me sitting here with some wet hair, not getting my hair done and paying for a program. Tasha, you can. My hair is wet as hell. Look,
I'm trying to get this healing, honey, because we do the real red table talk. We don't play, okay? Shoot, we get
you're right.
your life.
Look, let me go on Tasha's page and see what she looks like so I can make sure I see her.
I love your follow-up game.
Yes, I love everyone. Look, I even have water on my screen now because of my hair. So, yes, everyone, I am going to be back next week on Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. I'm going to have the narcissistic abuse coach. Her name is Sarah Komodo. Tune back in Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I put our links once again in the thread and in the show notes. And subscribe to Black Girls Getting Their Shit Together on YouTube as well as any podcast platforms. And make sure you stay in touch with Cerita, because Cerita has we both have big announcements in expanding our brand. Each one helps. So, yeah. I'm going to go finish dry my hair.
I love you, and I am so grateful that you had me on. I always enjoy your energy. You know, I love the show and what you're doing. So I'm just looking forward to us doing it again.
Let's do it. So why don't you stay on, and I'm going to end this broadcast. People are still hanging in. Y'all. Good.
I love y'all. And my last parting word.
Yeah.
Burn the fucking cape. Wow.
With the bricks that are on it.
Gasoline. gasoline, baby. Gasoline.